Man, today I want to talk about DRM, you know, de novo. If you don't know, when you buy a game, it comes with a third party, pretty much protection, right? It comes with its own, like, antivirus software. That's the best way I can explain it, DRM. And basically, what this does is it makes it, what the developer wants it to do is basically make it so people can't copy the game. It's basically it's copyright management for the game. It's so people can't hack it and crack it and smack it. All right, it's basically like a religion for video games almost. But it's a cult because it just ruins half the fucking games, and it most of the time doesn't even stop the game from getting cracked, hacked, or smacked, or you know what, even swacked. All right, that's a new word. I've just made it. All right, swacked. Now, to avoid getting swacked, basically, it's on most new games, AAA titles. Usually have DRM, such as De Novo, and really, it makes these games a pain in the ass to play sometimes. It can easily break your game, break your computer, and it also just opens you up to even more of a chance of getting hacked, more opportunities to get hacked, more ways to get hacked. It's not great. Some ordinary gamers, also known as Mudahar, has made a great video on DRM. I will link a few of his videos in the description because I recommend everyone watches him if you want to know more about cybersecurity and just security in general to protect yourself. Learn how to wear a condom, all right? And man, like I was saying, de novo, a DRM, this anti-cheat, even anti-cheat software such as Valorant's anti-cheat. I know I'm kind of getting into two different topics here with DRM and anti-cheat, but these things that just download with the game, I really find annoying, especially when the game is most of the time single player or doesn't even involve an online connection. They still like fucking shoehorn this shit into you, and there's no reason or no rhyme or reason besides they want to protect their game and make the most money from that game while they can, because as once the first week of that game releases goes away, the game doesn't really sell more. That's really where these companies make the bulk of their money, and that's why most companies, they'll put DRM on the game for like the first week or month or even the first day, and then they will take it off, and because they already made their money, they don't care. But really, essentially, what this is it's meant to protect their games from getting hacked and etc. And like I said, it doesn't work. It creates more problems than solving problems. And like I said, I find it annoying. I find really no need for it. There's many other ways to protect your game, I feel, and this is not one of them. If you have players that are exploiting a glitch or, you know, exploiting something in your game, you should look into the source code of the game, not at fucking external software to solve that issue. What the fuck is what is the point of hiring developers if they don't develop? Why are we using third party shit? It just never made sense to me. Now, most companies, they do make their own like DRM or their own anti-cheat software, and there is also some good anti-cheat software, such as like BattleEye. You make your own assumptions with that one, but Easy Anti-cheat is one of them. That's what iRacing uses, and that's what I'm most familiar with. And such as Valve's VAC system, VAC Anti-cheat, or I think there's another name for it, but I know it as VAC. If you got that red lettering on your Steam profile, I'm staying away from you, man. All right, that's like Voldemort around here. All right, but man, uh, in what's even more depressing is that the only really way to avoid DRM and getting weird anti-cheat shit installed on your computer from these games uh, is to use stuff like a virtual machine or emulate, or I guess you could play it on a console. But you know, we'll see how you feel about that one. Um, oh, I was gonna say VPN, but that's more for internet protection. You should be using that anyway if you're playing any multiplayer game, in my opinion. With how many games just leak your information right on there. That's one of the reasons why I don't play GTA Online on PC anymore. I made a video about that. But if you can't get a VPN, you could try it on a console, I guess. It may make it less difficult for people to get your shit. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I like multiplayer games on the console better. But anyways, DRM and this anti-cheat software, even accounts where games where you buy the game, you pay $60 to buy the game and play it, and then you open it up and it's like, please sign in to EA before playing the game, and you try to click close and it just keeps popping up. Man, that's the most annoying shit ever. That makes me just refund instantly. I forgot what game it was, but I remember I seen that shows you how popular that game I bought was. I remember just seeing the fucking sign into EA, and I'm like, okay, I'm done, bro. Like, I'm over it. I have Steam only. I'm trying to only use Steam. I don't want a million programs on my computer. I try to keep everything in one place and organized. I don't know how people can have multiple things everywhere just hanging around in the fucking breeze, different accounts up here and there and sideways and inside out, but I can't handle it. I can't do that. Some people got launchers for their launchers, and like, that's when you have a launcher for all your other launchers, you have a problem that you need to get figured out. All right, stick to something here. All right, stick to a platform, stick to something, have some organization going on. All right, launcher for a launcher. What do you got? Launchers for the launchers for the launchers? Exactly. That's one. Exact. I just blew everyone's minds watching this video. I know, but back to DRM where I was with this video. Um, the main reason why I'm talking about this is because there's a few new games coming out on Game Pass, such as Redfall, and I believe there's another Bethesda games in the work where they day one DRM, and I already know this is going to create loads of problems for these said games, and that's actually going to make me avoid buying these games for at least the first few weeks on release. That's the easiest way to avoid getting, shitty DRM in your game or some de novo or some weird anti-cheat shit. The anti-cheat shit, that's going to always be there for a multiplayer game. You're always going to have to deal with that. But DRM, it's no matter what game, single player, multiplayer, it's going to sometimes it has DRM on it and it makes that game just fucking unplayable and disgusting and more difficult. And like I said, more likely to just have something bad happen to you and or to their game. And like I said, there's a million ways they can go around this. I don't know like why we're going to third party DRMs like Denuvo and shit. Uh, in being fucky like this when you have a multi not million billion dollar company that can easily develop their own DRM and make better fucking code so their game doesn't break in a million ways with somebody doing the simplest amount of hacking, I guess. I don't know, to crack their game, right? But man, and even with like if you go to put anti or DRM or anti cheat on your fucking single player game because you don't want people to get unfair or like cheat to grind out levels, especially when you have microtransactions in the game, like that's always an instant red flag for me. The game's got microtransactions and DRM, dude. Like, they're trying to set you up for a bad time. All right, they just want your money. They don't care about anything else. That's how I feel. I feel like Alex Jones just ranting for no reason and going on about having no like structure to my topic at all. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna title this DRM anti cheat de nouveau P2W. All right, and we're gonna go with that title. But man, uh, yeah, I wanted to bash on DRM and anti cheat for a little bit. It's just I stopped playing Valorant because of their anti-cheat and how shit and ass their anti-cheat system is, and the fact I have to have it on my computer at all times running in the background is just weird. And like I said, DRM de novo especially, I just is disgusting. Any game that has that, I try to avoid for the most part. But you know, if they take it off after a few weeks of release, I'll go and check the game out. But you know, if there's any remnants of that in there, dude, I'm not playing it. And there was another case, I can't remember exactly, but Mudahar talked about it, where a developer put DRM on their game and it installed on everyone's computers and actually ended up like almost being somewhat had a malware tendencies where it just ran in the background and did weird shit, and uh, people couldn't even uninstall it, so the developers had to make a special uninstalling device for you to boot up into your computer, and you had to boot into Linux to uninstall it from Windows. Like, man, this shit is all bad. So I'm trying to pass this information along. I'm gonna link Mudahar's video in the description below because, like I said, Mudahar, he actually works in cybersecurity in that space. He knows more than me, and I just wanted to bring this to light. But like I said, just try to avoid those things. Anti-cheat that automatically installs and does weird shit. DRM, de novo especially, and you know, if the I don't understand why companies are just doing the most absurd shit, and it makes you wonder like who's running this shit. Because if normal consumers, right, normal gamers, normal consumers, a dum-dum, me, right, can think of a better way to just uh not have third party DRM, or just doing stupid shit in general with a company, uh, it blows my mind. It makes you really think who's running that shit. And we all know who runs Bethesda, so you know, I don't know. But man, that's all I got to whine about. So like I said, go watch Mudahar's video. Avoid DRM and anti-cheat weirdness if you can. um, Play multiplayer games on a console, or I mean, if get into virtual machines. I want to get into a virtual machine. Maybe I'll make another video about that, talking about that. But man, emulation too. Emulation is another one. But yeah, I'm dragging this video out too long, so I'm gonna end it there. Thanks.